The Fujifilm X-Pro series has always occupied a unique position in the camera world, not because it consistently leads in specifications, but because it represents a very specific philosophy of photography. Unlike many modern camera lines that compete primarily on resolution, autofocus speed, or video capability, the X-Pro series has traditionally focused on the experience of shooting itself. It blends tactile controls, rangefinder-inspired design, and a deliberate shooting pace that encourages photographers to engage more thoughtfully with their subjects. Within Fujifilm's broader ecosystem, the X-Pro line is not just another product category, it is a symbolic representation of the company's identity in the digital photography era. This is why the upcoming successor, widely referred to in rumors as the Fujifilm X-Pro4, has attracted so much quiet but sustained attention. It is not simply expected to be an incremental upgrade, instead, it is being positioned as a potentially defining moment for the entire APS-C lineup. To understand why expectations around the Fujifilm X-Pro4 are so high, it is important to revisit the origins of the series. When Fujifilm introduced the original X-Pro1 in 2012, the company was still in a transitional phase within the digital camera industry. At that time, Canon and Nikon dominated professional photography with their DSLR systems, while Sony was beginning to establish itself as a serious force in mirrorless technology. Fujifilm, by contrast, had not yet clearly defined its long-term direction in interchangeable lens cameras. The X-Pro1 changed that trajectory. It introduced the company's now famous X-Trans sensor, which avoided the traditional optical low-pass filter in favor of a unique color filter array designed to improve detail and color reproduction. More importantly, it marked Fujifilm's entry into the interchangeable lens mirrorless segment, laying the foundation for what would eventually become the entire X-series ecosystem. The success of the X-Pro1 was not only technical but also cultural. Its design, inspired by classic rangefinder cameras, appealed to photographers who were increasingly disillusioned with the bulk and complexity of DSLR systems. The combination of analog-inspired controls and modern digital imaging technology created a distinct identity that set Fujifilm apart. This balance between heritage and innovation helped establish a loyal user base and validated Fujifilm's long-term strategy in the mirrorless market. Without the success of that first model, it is difficult to imagine the company expanding so successfully into both APS-C and medium format systems in later years. The X-Pro 2, released in 2016, continued this philosophy while refining the technical performance of the system. It improved autofocus speed, increased resolution, and enhanced overall responsiveness, addressing many of the practical limitations of the original model. While it did not radically change the concept, it strengthened the foundation of the series and reinforced the idea that the X-Pro line was meant to evolve gradually rather than chase rapid spec-driven competition. Then came the X-Pro 3 in 2019, arguably the most controversial and experimental model in the series. With its unconventional hidden rear screen design, the camera intentionally encouraged photographers to rely less on instant digital feedback and more on the act of photographing itself. While some users appreciated this philosophical approach, others found it impractical in real-world shooting situations. Despite the mixed reception, the X-Pro 3 cemented the series as one willing to take risks in pursuit of a distinct photographic experience. Since the release of the X-Pro 3, however, there has been a notable silence. Unlike typical product cycles where successors appear within a few years, the expected follow-up has been significantly delayed. Based on previous timing patterns, many observers anticipated a new model around 2023 or early 2024. Instead, Fujifilm has remained largely quiet regarding the future of the series. This absence has only intensified speculation. Some believe the delay suggests that Fujifilm is preparing a more substantial generational leap rather than a simple iterative update. Others point to cultural considerations, including the possibility that the company may avoid using the number 4 altogether due to traditional associations, potentially skipping directly to a different naming structure. Regardless of the naming direction, there is a general consensus that the series is not being discontinued, but rather carefully re-evaluated. Among the most widely discussed expectations for the Fujifilm X-Pro4 is the introduction of a higher resolution sensor. Reports suggest the possible use of Fujifilm's 40.2 megapixel X-Trans CMOS 5HR sensor, which is already featured in other recent Fujifilm models. If implemented in the X-Pro4, this would represent a significant jump from the 26 megapixel sensor found in the XPro3. Such an increase in resolution would not only improve overall image detail but also provide photographers with greater flexibility in cropping and post-production. For genres like street photography, documentary work, and travel photography, where composition often happens quickly and under unpredictable conditions, the ability to reframe images after capture could be a meaningful advantage. Alongside the sensor upgrade, the inclusion of Fujifilm's latest X Processor 5 system is also widely anticipated. This would bring noticeable improvements in processing speed, autofocus accuracy, and overall camera responsiveness. Modern subject detection systems, including improved eye, face, and object tracking, are expected to become significantly more reliable compared to previous generations. In real-world use, this would translate into faster focus acquisition and more consistent performance in dynamic shooting environments, further expanding the practical capabilities of the XPro line. In a broader sense, the Fujifilm X-Pro4 represents more than just another entry in a product lineup. It symbolizes the continuation of a philosophy that prioritizes intention, experience, and creative engagement over pure technical competition. If the rumored upgrades materialize, the camera could become the most capable and well-rounded model in the series' history, bridging the gap between traditional photographic values and modern digital performance. Whether it ultimately arrives as the X-Pro4 or under a different name, its significance lies in what it represents: a commitment to preserving a unique photographic identity in an increasingly specification-driven industry.